What's up, everybody? It's Tanya here with Stream Like a Boss TV. I'm super excited and thrilled that I get to bring yet another amazing guest to see you tonight and to speak with you tonight. Super thrilled that you're live with us. There's my girl, Tatiana Teaches. Hey. Let me fix these comments right there. There we go. Miss Tatiana Teaches, and I also have John Lacey. John knows what to do. So look, this is what you do when you show up. If this is your very first time being here and you've never been here before, I want you to type in hashtag newbie. And if you've been here, you've been watching the show, you're a fan of the show, type in hashtag OG into the comments. So I want to talk a little bit about our special guest before I bring her on. Her name is Ericka Bates. And if you are someone who is really intrigued by virtual summits, well, she is the virtual summit queen. So she knows all the strategies there are to know about virtual summits and behind the scenes and setting up and systems and automation. And so we're going to talk a little bit about that. But let me read her bio to you before I introduce her and bring her on. What's up? It's good to meet you, Johnny. Thank you so much for letting us know that you're a newbie. Welcome to the show. It's wonderful to have you here. Tatiana, yes, you are now an OG. In fact, we need a new hashtag. We're going to put fam because you're fam now. So you and I have been on stage, on the virtual stage together. All right, Ericka. Ericka Bates is a virtual event producer specializing in supporting entrepreneurs, business owners, and startups in hosting and repurposing engaging and profitable virtual summits. I said profitable, so not just throwing yourself out there into events without thinking through what the intention and purpose is. She understands the challenges faced by entrepreneurs and offers her expertise to streamline your summit experience. As the host of Talk Virtual, which we're going to talk about tonight, a live streaming talk show, Ericka brings insightful discussions to entrepreneurs. As a matter of fact, I happened to be on one of her shows. I was blessed to be a guest on the Mother's Day extravaganza that One Stream Live was hosting, and Ericka was facilitating that conversation, and it was awesome. So I love getting a chance to meet her there. Yes, good to see you too, Scott OG in the house. What's up? What's up? What's up? I see some newbies. I see a lot of folks. Okay, look, I can't do this by myself. I need to get Ericka on the stage so that she can see all these wonderful comments and welcome you in too. So here's what I'm going to encourage you to do. First of all, let me tell you about the purpose of this show. The reason why we do Stream Like a Boss TV is because we know that you as a coach, a course creator, a consultant are looking to find ways to leverage video and embrace your face, as I like to say, so that you can serve more people, so that you can stand out online and sell more of your services. We want to do all of the things, right? So in order for us to do that, I want you to make sure you go grab yourself a pen and a notepad. I want you to grab yourself a favorite cup of hydration, whatever that may be. For me, it's water. I'm on the hydration kick. And come on back in just a second so that you can meet my good friend, Ericka Bates. All right, I'll see you in just a couple of seconds. So go grab that pen and that notepad right now. There she is. It is Ericka Bates. How you doing, lady?
Hello. I am great. How about you?
I am doing wonderfully, and there are a lot of people who are ready to welcome you in. I see all these different comments, so I'm definitely going to have to pop a few of these up. Scott Benedict's in the house, and you heard me say OGs are people that have been here before. I see a lot of OGs and newbies. Go, look, if I pronounce this wrong, please forgive. Go Giga X. Hey, sisters, it's Toya in the house. Okay. And then my B Inc. newbie. Welcome, welcome, welcome. John Lacey said, hi, Ericka.
Hey, John.
Okay, so I read through your bio, and there are a lot of things that there's some things I didn't read because I know you have a long list of accomplishments and achievements and things that you've done in the virtual space. What's not in the bio that you want the people to know?
Um, I'm addicted to research. I'm actually one of the best bloodhounds in human forms you'll ever meet because research is that good. I can't let it go.
Okay. Okay. When you say addicted to research, what's the last thing that you researched?
Okay, I wasn't feeling well, but someone had called me and said that they needed help with what they're doing, and I had to jump out of bed to research um, luxury soap.
Luxury
Yeah,
soap.
yep,
What? Okay, so
yes.
what we find out about luxury soap, what do we need to know?
People are paying a lot of money for luxury soap,
Ah.
for boutiques, for people who are buyers of stores, people who just want certain things in their soap. People are paying like $125 per bar of soap because somehow it's that important.
Oh my. Well, I'm in the wrong business. I need to get off of this channel and go make some soap right now. Stat. I love it. I love it. Tell me about this virtual adventure. What actually before we go there, I need to talk about personal. You're a mom, and that's how we met because we were on the Mom Streamers show. Tell me a little bit about family life and what that means to you.
It's important for my babies to have what they want, even though I think that's kind of spoiling them. But we try to look out for them to make sure they have everything they need. So we have a 14-year-old and we have an 8-year-old, and yeah, just love them so much because they're ours.
Yeah. Yeah. And when you are doing your live, so talk about how are you managing being mom on top of all the things that you're involved in, and how did you get into the virtual streaming space? What led you to this place?
So how'd I get into live streaming is
Mm-hmm.
because I really thought it would help me with my personal brand, help me get my name out there, let you know what I'm doing as far as virtual events. And I thought it could be a demonstration of what I could do and what I could do for you.
Okay. And so what when you think about virtual streaming and doing things in this space, did it make it easier the fact that you were actually virtual and not having to be on the road all the time in a physical space, especially with the two kids?
So when I first started out, I finally got the nerve to ask, could I rent someone's space, like an actual physical space?
Mm-hmm.
And everyone I've asked told me no. So my favorite marketing teacher, remembering my favorite marketing teacher, shout out to Dick Marsh. He told me that if you're talking to someone and they tell you no, you're talking to the wrong person and you need to ask someone else. So truth be told, I only asked like 12 venues could I rent their space. So I was on AppSumo. I saw Hey Summit and I talked to the owner, Benjamin Dale, and he didn't mind that I wanted to host events. Turns out the internet doesn't care if you want to host events or not. It just lets you do what you want to do.
Yeah.
So since the internet gave me no obstacles, I started to host events online.
What was one of the first events that you hosted? And did you use
So
Hey
the,
Summit for that?
I used a summit for my first event. I was very scared, but I hosted a pre-recorded event. It was for graphic designers moving from being a freelancer to being a business owner, and it was all ladies of graphic design, and they told how they got their business started.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Now, what was, when you think about the most exciting event that you've done virtually, what was that? What was the thing that made it exciting for you?
I want to say it was the last one I did for myself, and it was just this past March, and it was because I had help.
Mm.
I didn't do this entire event by myself. Turns out if you ask people for help, they will show up and help you. So I was surprised and very happy about that.
You know what? We were just talking about this, y'all. So we need to talk a little bit about this because one of the things that is so difficult for, I think for both of us, I think that's what came out of I got out of the conversation is just asking because we love what we do. We know we can put out a good product and we want everything that we put out to represent us well. So it's not
Yes.
about, it's not about just being a type A control freak, but it is about I want to see the same level of quality be out there. If I'm handing off something, then I need it to show up like I would show up. Would you?
Yes.
Okay. And I thought you agreed because based on what we were talking about, it sounded like that was a thing for you too. When people showed up, what parts were you able to outsource to them?
So, not only did I use Hey Summit, but I also used AirMeet, and I had different tracks running at the same time. So I needed to have hosts because AirMeet won't let one person run an entire event with different tracks, one person. So you can't do that. So
Mm,
I needed them to show up. So not only did they show up before time and asked if I needed anything, they showed up during their sessions. They showed up throughout the whole event and repeatedly asked if I need help. And if I didn't know that I needed help, they showed up and did it anyway and told me what happened later. So it's like,
I love it.
wow.
I love it. What's the hardest part about doing virtual summits? Because you've been doing this
Um,
for some time, and you also have a group called Virtual Summiteers.
yes, that's right.
What's the hardest part about it, and what would you say would be some of the top challenges that people run into when they're first thinking about doing a virtual summit?
A lot of people just won't start. I don't know what the fear is, but I let them know that it's okay. You can A lot of people tell you that it takes 90 days. It doesn't actually take 90 days. If you know what you're doing, if you know what you want, if you're in a Taco Bell drive-through and you order what you want and you get to the window and you ask for a bacon cheeseburger, your feelings are going to be hurt because they don't have that at Taco Bell. But if you ask for what you want at the drive-through window, for me, this is writing down your goals, letting me know what you want so that I can help you. And for me, winning is checking off those goals. So when you get through to the window and you get your order, you got exactly what you want. Therefore, winning because I like to win and this is how I win. So we can run this race blindfolded and we can have everything you want as long as we know what your goals are. But you got to have your goals up front. And when you have your goals up front, we can set up an event within 4 days.
Wow.
So that's enough time to let you go through and make sure that's everything you want. So just in case you're at Taco Bell and you ask for a bacon cheeseburger, if we have enough time, we could probably get you that.
Look, Dan said, can it be Chick-fil-A instead?
Yeah.
Dan is placing his order right now. Tatiana Teacher says, wow, I can't believe that for your first summit, you went with a multi-track virtual one. Yeah,
Oh, no,
that's
that wasn't my first one. That
okay.
was the one I did this past March. My first one, it was totally pre-recorded.
Okay. Okay. Would you suggest, is there a suggestion you have for people who are running their first virtual summit? So I'm going to ask you this in three parts. First virtual summit out the gate. Number
Do it
one.
live.
Okay. So do it live. Okay.
Yes.
What type of tool or platform should they use? Should it be multiple tools? Should it be one?
Um, I would say one. But at the most two. People will get lost and distracted if you have more than one. But if you must, like I like Hey Summit and I like Air Meet. They both do two different things. But it's like just a feeling that I have that they work very well together. So I use both of them.
Okay.
So
But you
yeah.
wouldn't recommend that to somebody who's brand new off the streets that doesn't have a you in their life,
Uh,
right? Okay.
so unless they have someone like a Tanya Smith who knows how to use both these platforms, don't do it by yourself.
What's a number one mistake? And John has a question, so I'll pop that up in a second. But what's the number one mistake you've seen people make when they are starting out?
So they don't ask themselves what they want. Like
Okay.
the first question you got to ask yourself is, what do you want to get out of hosting this event? What do you want your guests to get out of this event? What do you want your sponsors to have from getting from being a part of this event? Like if you answer each of these questions, write that down. Make sure that's actually what you want for yourself. Make sure your speakers and your sponsors and your guests are going to have these same things. This is your guest. Ask the people, like if you have a poll that you could put up in Facebook or LinkedIn, ask the people, and then ask your speakers what they want, ask your sponsors what they want,
I
so
hadn't
you
even
can
thought
again have
about
your guest
that.
list.
But you know, I actually did my first summit. I'll share this. I did a telesummit years ago when I first started doing business, Erica, and it was huge. I took on a lot. And fortunately, I'm a pretty organized person and I pick up technology well, but just like you said, it was kind of like, whoa, there's a lot. There's a lot of things. And having that checklist of questions first to ask yourself and to ask your sponsors and to ask your community, is this even going to be something that you're going to attend?
Hmm.
It's so important to do the research, like you said, first. Let's see. And I see Dan made a note. I'm going to pull up John's note too. I don't know what's going on with my comments today. Going to be honest, I hate pre recording for summits, even though I've done it. And you know what? I can kind of resonate with what he's saying in that I like the engagement factor of live, but I also get, especially if you're new, the power of being able to be a little bit more hands off and letting things run according to whatever's been recorded, because then it's a little bit more practical. John says, I would love to hear what Ericka likes about Hey Summit. What do you like the most about the tool, the platform?
So how oh, sorry, English can be hard sometimes. So you know how you have the header and everything is pre-made for you. You don't have to have that pre-made topics or titles. You can change whatever you want. Um, your header can be any size you want. They've changed a lot of things now, but I think my absolute favorite is how the header looks. I also like that. If you didn't know, Tanya, we were talking about Hey Summit earlier. In Hey Summit, you can ask your speakers, what will you take? What do you want your guests or attendees to take away from your talk? Why should anyone attend your talk or something like that?
Hmm.
And you can make a video. You can take that video and put it in Hey Summit. So if you don't check the box that has everyone sign up for every talk, if you let them choose their talk, they can go through and watch the little video clips of what would make that talk interesting to them.
They've
So
really thought a
I really
lot
like it.
about this. They've put this together because I've had Hey Summit for a long time, but like I told you, I didn't use it because when I first got it, I didn't love it. But when I looked at it the other day, I was like blown away because of
Hmm.
all the features. So I love that you shared that because I didn't even know that part of it. Scott says, my online conference is both live and pre recorded and it goes on for 3 months. Whoa, Scott. We do live on the weekends and pre recorded accessible for any time. Wow, wow, wow. I love it. Look, Strick is in the house. Our brother, DJ Strick. Which brings me to these questions. I want to talk a little bit about your experience with OneStream Live because we met on the OneStream Live platform, when you invited me to be a part of the Mother's Day event. That was just so much fun. What drew
It
you
was.
to OneStream Live? I know that Strick is also an ambassador for them, just as you are. What
Mhm.
about that platform drew you to them, and what kind of work are you partnering up with them to do?
So I'm a big fan of Gary Vaynerchuk, and he says, be omnipresent. And one stream says, I can help you be omnipresent. So I'm like, okay. So not only that, they helped me learn how to use the platform because I got there and I was like, ah.
I don't know
And
what's
then
going
I went
on.
to the, yeah, I didn't know what was going on. I went to the talking bubble. I'm like, hey, can you ask, I need to ask you for help. So they got on Zoom with me and they walked me through the program. And all of a sudden, I knew how to use it. And then one day I'm hanging out in their Facebook group and they were celebrating live streaming day. in like March or something like that. And I'm like, why are you celebrating with a blog? Shouldn't it be celebrated with a live stream? And they're like, do you want to do that for us? And I'm like, yes, I will. Yeah. So that's how I got started with OneStream.
Look, when you raise your hand and you ask a question, y'all, this is just like a sign. That's proof that you could be on the hook to do the thing. That's hilarious. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. I'm going to put, so Tatiana has a question. I'm in the public speaking world, would love to do a virtual live event, but haven't thought about sponsors. How should I approach or begin to think about sponsors, and what are the pros and cons of sponsorship? That's an excellent question. What do you think?
So I think, who are you using right now? Like, who provides your microphone? Who provides your cell phone? Who provides your lights, your desktop, whatever, any products that you're using? And do you have an audience that matches what that sponsor is looking for? So if your sponsor is looking to get in touch with someone who has the same or has a cell phone, but you like your cell phone better, let's say you're using T-Mobile. T-Mobile will be your sponsor. They actually have a grant I saw on LinkedIn that they're looking to help out small business owners. So that's a good way for them to get their name out. If you're already using them, you can be a testimonial for them, and you can refer them to your own audience. And you can say, hey, I use them. I can vouch for them. It works, whatever. And so as long as your audience and their audience matches up, you have a plan.
I think it's been really interesting because this year I've spent a lot of time and I've invested in a couple of mentors related to the idea of sponsorship. So I'm going to share, there are a couple that I follow, and Tatiana, this may be helpful to you too, who have excellent programs. Creator Wizard by Justin Moore. That's one
I
of
like
them.
Justin.
Oh, yeah, he's awesome. So next time
Mhm.
you get ready, he gets ready to launch Creator Wizard Academy. Definitely check that out because it's an excellent program about sponsorship. Mike Alton, also from Agora Pulse, is one of my mentors and coaches. And he is huge on having conversations about influencer and sponsor brands and collaborations and all of those things. He's constantly
Building
nudging me.
relationships.
Yeah. He's
Mhm.
probably, if he's watching now or watching the replay, he's like, did you do your homework? So, yeah.
Mhm.
So, what to your point about making sure that you're looking for a match? It's not that you have to have a huge audience all the time. If you're looking for sponsors for different events, it is exactly what you just said, Ericka, right? Is what I'm talking about a fit for their audience and
Mhm.
vice versa? Is it a fit? That's what they look for more than they do numbers sometimes, because
Mhm.
many of us are considered to be micro influencers. I learned that term when I was working through both of the programs I mentioned. I was like, I don't have hundreds of thousands of followers. They said, yeah, but you have very loyal followers in the group that you do have. And that means you're a micro influencer. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Like that,
And the
lady.
thing about micro influencers, since you have a small audience, you can talk with them, and they can reach out to you, and you'll most likely answer them. And that's probably why they follow you, because you're reachable.
I love that. I love it. I can be in micro all the day. I don't care about having so many people that I can't ever address them. I love to be able to connect with people. Let's see. Hey, Giant Slayer, what's up? Hello, Tanya and guest. It's good to see you. And Tech Troublemaker, also known as the Roy Richardson, says, I subscribe to Justin's newsletter. Yeah, he's pretty amazing. He's a really good guy. So when you
If you
think, oh, go ahead.
if you haven't heard of Chris Bayless of the Sponsorship Collective, he's amazing also. So
Ooh, okay, I
you can
don't
find
know
him
that
on
name.
LinkedIn and Facebook.
Bayless, like Bayliss.
You got it.
See, I told y'all to have your notepad and pen ready. Didn't I say this? I knew.
But
I
he has a
knew.
whole sponsorship training course.
Like you, that's what you're getting in here right now. Yeah, Yvette, it's good to see you. What's up, OG? Okay, so One Stream Live, best show you've done so far, most memorable for you.
Like all my panelist shows, I really love the panelist shows. I've done talks by myself, and people are like, "What?" Because sometimes I can go on a tangent about things, especially at RSS feeds. But when I have guests, like a panel discussion, I think it's more relatable, and I don't get so far ahead of people.
And when you think about panelists, what's the difference between going, and I can speak to this, but I want to know your perspective because each of us has a different, experience when it comes to live streaming, which by the way is so exciting, y'all. This is, you don't have to do it in a cookie cutter way. You can host a live stream in a way that fits for you. So here's
Hmm.
my question for you though. What for you is the difference between going live solo and having a panelist? Why do you love panelists so much?
I love to have a conversation. Like I said, I can go on a tangent about RSS feeds because it's like, wow, having things done for you. Yes, because automation. But everybody isn't a fan of automation like I am. Everybody doesn't want things to go from YouTube to their podcast or to
Yeah.
their social media scheduler, and it's like So,
Yeah.
but when you're talking with a panel, I mean, you can have a discussion about your kids. You can have a discussion about SEO or analytics, and people, even though it's maybe an advanced conversation, people are still right there with you because with a group of people, somebody's going to say something that someone understands.
Yeah. I love that perspective. That is really good. John, I'm popping your comment back up. I'm so attached to my computer, I'm not sure I remember how to use a pen. Yeah. Okay. Okay, sir. Get that notepad online out. Roy, you are so amazing too. And Ericka is one of the most amazing people that I've met in this last month. Several people, I've been meeting a lot of people in the live stream community. Here's what I love about you. I love that you're so humble. I love that you, at least this is what I saw with the panel that you hosted where I was. You were happy to let the panelists really talk about things that mattered to them. And you kind of asked the question and then you step back. This, by the way, y'all, is one of those gifts. So when you start actually interviewing other people, you want to pay attention to people like an Ericka. Pay attention to people who are really doing well with facilitating conversation because sometimes we do get caught up in talking so much and we don't let our guests speak. So, what do you think about that, Ericka? Any other tips you can provide to people for running a panel?
I am nosy. I am so nosy. I got to find out what other people are doing. So I got to ask the question and let them talk because that's how I find out things.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm addicted to research. And one of the things after I finish reading about you, I got to talk to you to find out if what I read is true.
Strick said
Thanks,
Ericka
Steve.
is amazing. See, he agrees. And yeah, Roy said this with the panel, I don't have to pretend to be interesting. He's like, Roy, you are interesting. Very, very much so. But I do enjoy being a part of panels and hosting panels. We're going to be doing some more of that coming up. I hope that you'll consider being a guest.
Yeah, happy to do so.
I would love that. I would love that. What's the next big project you have coming up, Ericka? Tell us about what's coming up. And I'm going to showcase your YouTube channel. Let me do that while we do it. I'm going to showcase it now and I'll showcase it again. But let me pull you up. So Talk Virtual is your channel on YouTube. Tell me a little bit about Talk Virtual and what is coming up for you when it comes to the whole virtual live events thing.
So, Talk Virtual is me talking to fellow event producers, planners, organizers, event hosts, and we talk about their latest events, their best and favorite events, and what they've learned from hosting events and what they would do differently. Um, my next event coming up, I really want to do something for Black Friday. I really want to give people a chance to remember that it's coming up and that now is the time to prepare. I want to work with fellow SaaS companies
Hmm.
to partner with maybe what are they called? Affiliate marketers, and have them give them a chance to meet each other and then both prepare for Black Friday. So Black Friday is like November 25th. Yeah, no, it's the 24th, November 24th. And right now it's June. So if I have this event set up in, like, let's say October, that gives them maybe one full month and some weeks to actually prepare, like find out what's the highest converting landing pages. Does it have video? Is it a video sales letter? Is it just a sales letter that's most converting? What do you need to do to have your most converting emails? I want to have people talk to affiliate marketers about that, so that way
Hmm.
when the sponsors come, which would be SaaS companies, they know that they have someone to promote their product or service for Black Friday, and affiliate marketers know that they have a great SaaS product to promote when it comes for Black Friday.
I love it. That is an excellent idea. And I would look forward to hearing more information about that too. And let me put this up. I was giving you some hype because we have a couple of people, Tatiana and John, that said, I subscribed. So
Oh,
thank
thank
you.
you.
Thank you so much for following and supporting Ericka Bates at Talk Virtual on YouTube. Thank you again, John, for that as well. And poor John, he was not joking when he was talking about his wrist hurting. Bless your heart. Well, I hope everything's okay. He had to address some envelopes, and it hurt your wrist, man.
We
Yeah,
got to get him some stamps, or one of those stamps with his name and address on it.
yes, 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 yes. And you know what? Everybody doesn't use pens as much. So let me ask you this, because we both are geekheads. I know this because we were talking about apps, and we're both into platforms and technology. Do you find yourself moving away from writing like they're talking
Mhm.
about in the chat? I still write, I still do, but I
Yep.
do love the apps and the platforms. What's the latest app that you have invested in and that you love?
Hmm. I use so many. Okay, let me talk to you about Missing Letter.
Ah,
So, Missing Letter is my scheduler. So, again, real quick, RSS feed. That RSS feed is picked up by Missing Letter, sends me an email. It's like, hey, you got some content that's ready to go out to the world. Do you want it to go out to the world? Say yes or no. Or not only does it pick up your YouTube video, it picks up the description, and that is my social post. So I say yes to it. That content goes out 9 times throughout the year. So not only that, if that video is chopped up, I like to put that content into the Missing Letter curation, and then people can choose if they want to share my video clips or not. Oh,
yep.
Missing
Missing letter.
Letter.
And by the way, that's letter without the last E.
Yep.
So it's LETTR if anybody's interested in checking that out. I don't think it's on a lifetime anymore, right?
Oh.
Yeah, it's been a long time. I have that one too. I think we probably have been on the same track about buying apps. I did buy a couple of new ones recently. And for those of you who are also fellow app followers, remember that AppSumo's Sumo Day is coming up like within the next 10 days. I think it's June 11th. So if you haven't been out there, they have a giveaway, I think, that they have going on. So you may want to sign up for that. And I'm sure I'll be doing some reviews of some of the latest ones that I've purchased. What are you going to be doing reviews about in the next, let's say in the next 30 days? What are your videos going to be focused on?
Um, for me, I think I want to do something about burnout, live streaming and burnout, because I got a little tired, but after talking with Chat GPT, because me and Chat are best friends now, um,
The bestie.
yeah, we're like this. So, and with the mastermind, the peer group, we've been talking about having seasons. So I think I've chosen fall and winter because my kids will be at work. They call it school, and that's the best time I can go live without without them running around or being loud and my Chris not working. Um, so I'm doing that with comparing the live stream show with TV. I can have commercials. The commercials could be my sponsors, and I can have a registration wall. So, and then when the spring and summer come, I can have reruns, and I can do other things like courses or challenges or what do they call it? Webinars.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Yeah.
we were talking about this too, y'all, before. See, all the magic happens in the show beforehand. For those of you who have been my guests, you know this, but we were talking about this idea of seasons, and it is something. I think it's a real thing, and I would definitely love. I'm seeing a bunch of people talking about burnout right now, especially when it comes to creating any type of content, but video content in particular can be grueling. It can take a lot of effort and time. So I love that you said that because it's something I've been pondering, honestly, Ericka. This idea of doing seasons. I literally have been going nonstop for
Mm-hmm.
probably the
Me
last,
too.
yeah, the last 2.5 years, nonstop. It would be nice to just take a little break, even if it's just for a few weeks or a month. So I love that idea. I see a question for you. So I'm going to pop this up so that we can make sure that we get this in. It is from Roy. Roy says, when do you know to pivot from Zoom type sessions to a live conference? What's your thought on that?
I still use Zoom. So I use Zoom for my peer groups, for my meetings. I also have a Book Like a Boss. If you book an appointment with me, Book Like a Boss will automatically set up a Zoom appointment for you. Um, I use Hey Summit, I use AirMeet, and it's if I want to have all of you sit around a table and talk with each other, I would use AirMeet for that. If I'm using pre-recorded or if I just need a fancy landing page, I'm going to use Hey Summit. So there's room for all kinds of virtual events. It's just that you got to know your goal. What do you want to get out of it? How do you want to feel when you put together this event? Are you going to feel
Mm-hmm.
like you won because you've chosen this platform? Oh, yeah,
That's a
we're all
good
about
question.
winning.
I noticed she said winning a couple of times. Exactly. So look, if it makes you, and I agree with you about the whole difference, this pivot from Zoom type sessions. One of the things that I think is a difference, makes a difference, is when you're doing Zoom style conferences and webinars. To Erica's point, a platform like Hey Summit actually has built-in landing pages. It has a built-in process to send people communications about the event. There are all these things that come with a platform like that whose primary focus is on summits. Whereas with
Mhm.
Zoom, it's not the best. The registration process is not the best. You can't create a true landing page. Trust me, I've tried on Zoom. You have to create it someplace else and then redirect and drive people to the Zoom integration. So it really you want to think through, as she said so eloquently earlier, what are your goals and what makes you feel like, hey, this works for this particular event? Because you've
Yeah.
got to be thinking about the experience you're creating for the people on the other side too. I will tell you,
Mhm.
sometimes I don't use Zoom if my goal is to create a very unique experience, so something that people haven't seen or been through before. So when I drive people to my Stream Bosses Cafe for events coming up in the summer, they're going to be like, wow, what is this app? And it's designed to give them a different type of, it's going to give them a whole different feeling than sitting in a room on Zoom, which everybody had to do for the last couple of years, right? But what is your purpose?
Yeah. You got to know that just because we're online, it doesn't mean that we're not going to get a kind of vibe or feeling from it. So it's all depends on what do you want to get out of it. How do you want to feel? How do you want your guests to feel? And if you're going to have sponsors, how do you want them to feel? Like, what was your
Mm.
best experience when you had a Zoom event? For me, it was always the breakout rooms.
Yeah,
You
that's
just gotta,
good.
yeah, you just gotta find out how do you want to feel about it.
That's good. Because, hey, Summit, like you said, I love that you mentioned that feature about your sponsors, or not even your sponsors, but your guest speakers being able to create kind of a little miniature promo for what they're going to be talking about. That's
Mhm.
genius. You're not going to be able to do that with something like Zoom, but you may not need all of that.
Yeah.
You may want to keep it really simple and streamlined initially and just use Zoom because everybody does know how that works. You're not going to have a learning curve and have to explain to people, here's what you're going to have to click in order to see stuff, you know?
Mhm. Yeah, if it helps, you can hook up Hey Summit to Zoom.
Okay.
Yeah.
Look, you have told me a whole lot of stuff about Hey Summit. Now you're going to make me have to go back in there and see what's up.
It's a nice program. So not only that, Hey Summit has like how we have here on the side the chat. You can have the chat in Hey Summit too. You can leave stars or like a good review for the speakers if you wanted to.
I like all of those features being built into that space. That's really cool. Here's a question in regards to groups because I just noticed the note from Scott. Let me pull that back up. He said, we do the self session promos on Facebook Live. So they do their feature promos on Facebook Live. So here's my question. When do you, I think one of the events that you mentioned when we were talking earlier had, it was something you were impressed by. You said
Mhm.
they had the live summit and they had a Facebook group that mirrored the branding from the Hey Summit event. When
Yes.
should you include some type of group or community space? Because I don't think that's built into Hey Summit, right?
It's not, but that
Okay.
is something they are considering. But for right now, you got Facebook.
And is
So
there a need? When would you need to have a community or group like that for a summit?
um, it's been said 1 month to 2 weeks before time. And if you did it 1 month before time, you can invite your speakers in like Scott did and ask them to tell about their talk or about themselves or about their service. Some people even charge to have that speaker speak in their Facebook group. So, yeah. And not only that, if you have what is it called? The one where you have to register to be a part of the group. Not the free entry one, but the registration one. I forgot what it's called, but you can have their name and email, and you can ask them one other question. You get three questions, so you can ask. You should already know their name,
Oh,
so you can ask for their email. You can ask for how did you hear about this community or event, and you can ask one other question.
okay, cool. So you kind of do a little mini survey beforehand
Hmm.
and segment people out. Here's a question from John. Do you make the recordings of the sessions available afterwards, or do you have to be there live for the magic?
Ah, so my favorite thing about doing live events is that there is a early bird, there's a general entry, and you can have the recordings. But if you're not there live, there's an extra fee for
Mm-hmm.
that the playback.
Yep. Yep. And that's what you said, John, afterwards about turning out better if you introduce the scarcity. That's exactly right. So you have
Hmm.
the urgency and the FOMO, the fear of missing out, because you're not there live. And you also have the urgency of them having to purchase, or not having to, but having the option to purchase because they can't be there live. I do
Hmm.
like that those options are there. That helps you to also monetize, right?
Hmm. So how about this? So let's say you've given your speakers the ability to be affiliates of the event. After the event is over, you still got your affiliates going. Give them their talk for free. And then say, hey, if you want to see other great talks like this, here's my affiliate link, and you can see this person or whatever. And you can have them talk about their favorite talk during that event.
Like it, like it, like it. So
Hmm.
lots and lots of ways. Scott says we sell access 3 months, 6 months, and 9 months to watch the recordings. So having that sequence, that's a really good idea, Scott. And John
I like
said,
to make,
you like that sequence?
I do.
Yeah.
I make clips of the talks, and I tell them to go to this talk because it's really good. This is why.
Here's the benefits. This is why you need to see it. Yeah,
Mhm.
John, your note is well taken. Because there are a couple of people that are in my community that are Australian or on the other side of the world in the Philippines. Being an Australian, he's often asleep. And so when he is trying to access the lives, he just doesn't get that access. He has to end up probably purchasing them because he's not awake at the time. So yeah, I mean there is that's ongoing issue, right? That we have people that now it's actually an issue, but it's also a benefit. It's a joy that we get to reach people across the pond. Like we don't have to just be limited to local communities anymore. We get to reach people everywhere, and you get to reach people from where you are to everywhere around the world. So yeah,
Mhm.
I get it. I do get it. But most of the
Mhm.
time, Ericka, in your experience, are you seeing with these events, do you have like a limited period of time that people can watch? So more than just that same moment, right? Do you have like 24 hours to watch the live, then you sell it? Or what's your thought on that?
Mine are usually over the next day. So if you
Okay.
didn't catch it, you do have that one day, but after that, it's for sale. I have seen events where they live stream it into like Facebook or YouTube, and if they are in Zoom, it's like, oh, did you want to join the rest of us? Well, tickets are still available, or they just cut that off right there, and you can see some of it live, but you can't see all of it. But you have to pay to see the whole thing.
Yeah. I think that 24-hour thing can be fair. Maybe that could work if you know you have a global audience and people that may want some of the same access and they're eager to get it. That's an option. That's something to think about. Everyone kept asking for extensions. This preempted it. Oh, the reason why he did the 3 month, 6 month, and 9 months. That's what he's saying. People kept wanting more time. So you sell that access, though. That's the key.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see. So Dan says, John, I wake up to do live sessions for other time zones. If you're a pro speaker, you got to do what you got to do. Tell it, Dan. It's true. It's true. And look, John, you're up when most people are not. I know this because I often see you. I would much rather connect with people over shared interests than shared geography. Me too. I feel that way too.
What about this? What if you live stream clips and you talk over some of the parts that were your favorite and then say, hey, this was a really good session. This is why I like this session. But if you want to see the whole thing, it's for sale. Like, what if you offered the clips for free?
I like that idea. Yeah, because then you can get some of the major, like the main points, right, in the clips.
Mhm. Yeah.
What a good
I treat it
idea.
like a portfolio, your top 10 or 12, and do a live stream show of that.
Is this what you do in your virtual summiteers? Are y'all brainstorming about virtual summit ideas? Yes.
Yes. We
Okay.
talk about models, we talk about strategies, we talked about what events we liked and what went well, what they could have not done, stuff like that.
Is it only because I'm going to ask you if you're open to it? I don't know if it's open. Is it open to other people joining and connecting to the virtual
Yes.
summiteers? Would you like to share the virtual summiteers connection page or link? Because I will type it up and put it up.
Let me pull it up and share that link.
Okay. Let me see. I mean, I'm so early in my journey that I give everything away from free in the interest of building awareness. And yeah, here's the thing, John. I think knowing some of your content and knowing how thorough you are, especially when it comes to OBS, because you're like the OBS expert. I don't know a lot of people that focus and niche in on that, but you have the technology down. You're very creative with it. Everything doesn't always have to be free, but to, you know, how Ericka was sharing that idea about having certain things that are teasers that lead people into paid spaces.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, you want to build awareness, and at the same time, you want to diversify your content. A lot of you who are OGs have been hearing me say this almost every show. We can't just have one type of content. You absolutely, as a new person, are going to focus a large majority of your content in the attract or awareness space. But then there's also, you need to have an offer of services or something that you want people to invest in. And I can say this because from experience, I think I shared with you all a story about when I was doing the Let's Go Live challenge free. And then I found out that there were people who were willing to pay, but they thought that must not be valuable because it's free. And when I put a label on it and said, okay, now it's $37, right? When I added that, they said, oh, I'm signing up. Because I asked them, well, why are you signing up now, but you didn't sign up when it was free? Because I didn't think it had any value. So be careful of that. That can be a
Yeah.
trap. What's up,
Yeah.
Zakia Ringo? What's up, girl? In the house? Look, you need to come on the show too. So, you know, I need you here. Look, Dan said I stayed up until 3 a.m. to speak to students in Nigeria.
Wow.
How hard it was to stay up that late and speak Yoruba. I know.
Wow.
Bless your heart. Dan, you are very committed. Did you get that? Let me see. Did you
Yes,
send
I
that
put
link
it
to
in
me?
the guest chat.
Awesome. I'm going to share this link so that, well, I don't know if they'll be able to. I'm going to try to put this. I don't know if this is going to show well on screen because it's too long,
Oh,
but
I should have went to my switchy, but
I'm
let
going
me
to
find
try.
another one.
If you get me a switchy link, I'm going to put that in there. And I'm also going to try to put it into the comments in YouTube. So I just
Okay.
popped it into YouTube comments. But for those of you who are watching from Facebook and LinkedIn, womp womp. We got to wait for the switchy link because it's a super long one.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I like Scott's note to you, John. I think this is for you. Instead of free, start out inexpensive. Now, knowing John's content, again, you have excellent content. So definitely you still want to have some free stuff. You want to share the tips that you're sharing, but you also need to continue to do what Ericka said when she first started. Ericka said, what'd you say you were in love with?
Research.
She sure did. Y'all heard her say research, right?
I
Let
can't
me
help it.
look at research. So if you're doing the research and you're finding out what the people who you want to talk to want to know, you can deliver more of that. You can start with the free, but then you also insert some of the low cost or low ticket items and build your way into more of a higher ticket until you feel confident about moving to each of those next levels.
Hmm.
Thank you
So,
for telling me that it's in the YouTube. Okay. It's there.
yep, I
Okay.
put it in the guest chat.
All right.
Let's say you start off with a live stream. Your live streams are usually free. What is that live stream going to lead to? Will your live stream lead to a paid webinar? Will it lead to a paid challenge? Would it lead to a paid 3-day live event? Will that 3-day live event lead to a paid course? Would that paid course lead to your paid mastermind? Would your paid mastermind lead to your paid one-on-one?
Mm-hmm. And
So
look,
it's got to lead to somewhere.
one of the things that can be the most helpful to you, I'm putting this up. One of the things that can be the most helpful is to get out of your head and to bring somebody else in. I hired my dear friend who is a marketing strategist and coach just like me. We could be competitors, but I've told you before, I don't see competitors. I see people who are my peers that do something similar. But I knew I needed to get out of my own head and that she could help me do it. I trusted that she would give me good advice, and she did. So she helped me to rethink what my funnel looks like and how I wanted to make that run. Here's the link. This is Erica's Virtual Summiteers group. So if you're thinking about doing more virtual summits, what other reason would they join, Ericka? I'll let you talk about it.
They get to meet great people like Zakia Ringo. I'm like, you can't hang around Zakia and not pick up knowledge. So not only is Zakia there, so everyone there not only host events, they do other things. Like there is a person who just does media. There's a person who is a hydrogeologist. There's a person who works in sports medicine. But what we all have in common is that we host events. So they take their perspective from all all they have from around them, and we gear it towards events. And I think that's what makes us work.
I love it. I love it. I'm definitely going to be showing up for something. So look for me soon. Awesome. Okay, so that link is there, folks. And then I'm going to also really quickly pop you back up on your website, ma'am, because I want to make sure that people know where to follow you on YouTube. So Talk Virtual at Talk Virtual, because we're about to come up on time, but definitely follow Ericka Bates on LinkedIn or on Talk Virtual at YouTube. And Zakia just put a note and said she is the queen of research. She says this. She vouched for you.
I can't help it.
Ah, I'm gonna look. Let me put this in here because there's a note from. Okay, let's put this up real quick. There's a note from Dan, and he asked a question. Ericka, I believe speakers should get paid. If I was to join your group, would that be deemed offensive?
You got to know what you want. Is that part of your goals? Are the speakers you're looking for, are those speakers your audience are looking for? If so, then yes, they're worth paying. If not, nah. So it's got to be more than just you wanting to have that speaker. Your audience have to have that speaker, and that speaker has to bring value to the audience.
Yeah, and when I first started speaking, I was doing a lot of speaking gigs for free. And the reason why I started free is because I was not yet quite known and I wanted to build up my muscles, my confidence muscles and my competence muscles. I wanted to be able to speak in such a way that people would want to pay, right, to
Hmm.
hear me speak. So there, and even now, there are times when I will say, okay, well, let me weigh the benefits of me doing this gig at no charge because there's the potential for me to gain other types of perks. Maybe it is to
Hmm.
build my email list. Maybe it is to be in front of people that could potentially be referring me to paid clients. So there
Hmm.
are some reasons for people who would definitely speak for free, and then some speaking at a paid level. Zakia said you hold them accountable, Ericka.
I know that, like Zakia, I know what she can do. I can see her. So I want her to have all that she can possibly have because I know it's right there in front of her. I just need her to reach out and grab it. And I've already told her I like saying I told you so.
Yeah. She does very well in her own right when it comes to live streaming too. Let's
She's
see.
one of my favorite live streamers.
Yeah, and I've heard that. I've heard that from a couple of people before I even got to meet you, Zakia. Zakia was on the Mom Stream show.
Hmm.
That's how I got a chance to meet her and Ericka. Let's see. Okay. Oh, he's trying to clarify this. Thank you, Dan, for sharing. He said, so the group, this group where we have the link, which I'm going to pop back up here right now, this group right here, the Virtual
Hmm.
Summiteers, he said, is the group for people putting on summits, not for speakers looking to get gigs?
Oh, we host events. So
Yes.
it's for people who host events or produce or plan or organize.
Okay. That's
I,
good
I will
clarity.
say if you are speaking for free and they want to pay you in exposure money, have them write down what the exposure is going to be. I'm a big fan of Chris Doe. So if I do get speakers to speak for me for free, what they will get is their video. They will get that video clipped up. They will get that video in audio. They will get a minimum of 2 blog posts. So you got to give them something. Don't just
Yeah.
ask people to work for you for free.
It happens way too often, doesn't it? And
Hmm.
you can tell when the people that are asking you to speak for free probably have never been paid themselves. But I have members in my own personal community. Thank you, Dan. I have members in my community who are like, hey, I know what you bring to our academy, and I want you to come and speak to my group. How much would you charge me to do that? And I don't charge them full price, but the fact that they asked, I'm honored because
Hmm.
that tells me that they think that what I can share is of value, not only to them, but to the people that they're serving. So yeah, that's a whole other conversation, speaking for free versus not, right? But I love it. Okay.
Yeah.
Any other thoughts? What would you like to leave the people with as a final thought on virtual summits? Because I know I can't keep you here all night, although I would. I would
I
hold you
will.
hostage.
I would love that. Um, my I would say my takeaway would be to write down your goals, because for me, a checked off goal mean I have won something and I want to win. So write down your list of things that you want to accomplish with your event or with your live stream or with your challenge, your webinar, whatever. Write it down and then check it off to make sure you have accomplished your goals.
Yes, I love it. Absolutely. And Dan, I'll connect with her afterwards too to share a little bit more on that because I do know. Yes. I just love y'all. I love every single one of you who's in the community inside of the YouTube chat. Thank you so much for sharing. Let's see some love for, I know. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I try to make it a safe space, Zakia. I do. Celebrate the wins, big or small. So John is agreeing with you. Anybody else? Did you have a takeaway that Ericka was able to share? Because she really dropped some nuggets. Like she gave us a lot, and we appreciate you so much for what you've done this evening. And like I said, I can't wait. Look, I got to give you the gold. I can't wait to have you back on some because I'm going to be doing some panels here coming up soon. Can't wait to have you back. Thank you so much again, Ericka.
Thank you for having me. This was fun, and I do hope to get to talk to you again.
You will. You can't let go of me. You can't lose me that easy. Look, Ericka brought the heat. Do you see that?
Yes. Thank
I
you.
love it. Okay, guys, I'm going to get ready to close us out. Remember to follow her at Talk Virtual on YouTube and let's help support her and build her channel. Look, I'm going to say this really quickly. If you haven't already signed up, I don't have my little handy dandy beautiful clip that says it, but I'm telling you face to face, livestreamsummerschool.com. It's free. Livestream Summer School, it's spelled just like it sounds.com. Go to that website and come hang out with me over the next couple of weeks. Actually, between June and July, if I can swing it, y'all, because I did have to move the first day. We do have a funeral. A great grandmother, 95 years old, long life, did pass. So I've had to move Monday to Tuesday. But that will be the kickoff and the start of our series. I'm doing a focus on different tutorials of all the live stream platforms that I know, including OneStream Live. So, Ericka, I might have to have you back for that.
All right.
And I'm also going to be hosting some panels of what we call our Super Streamers Club. And I'm going to be just teaching. I'm going to be talking about confidence and all the things. So I'm really excited about that. Thank you, John, reminding people to smash the like button. John also said thank you so much for the great conversation. And John is awesome. Ericka's channel at Talk Virtual, so you don't forget. Roy said, thank you, Ericka. I subscribed and I am thinking about virtual events. Good. Good, 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 good. And thank you, John. I appreciate you for that. I do. So I will definitely be back on next week. I'm going to be doing a really aggressive schedule starting in the month of June through July. So livestreamsummerschool.com will give you access to all the different events and reminders every time I go live. My focus is on YouTube. Sorry, folks that are on LinkedIn and Facebook, but I want to build, and that was part of my strategy. Remember, intentional. My strategy for June and July is to really build my YouTube channel. So we're going to be focusing everything there for these streams, and I hope that you'll come and hang out with me. Have an amazing rest of the week and weekend. Thank you for showing love to my friend Ericka Bates. Thank you for hanging out and asking her questions. And just thanks for being you. We will see you next time in the stream. And don't forget to sign up at livestreamsummerschool.com. That's it.
Thanks, Tanya.